Hello, everyone, and welcome. Checking on my control panel here, making sure everything is working properly. It sure looks like it. Glad you're here. If you're watching live, you can put a comment in, and I'll be able to see it, whether you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or through YouTube. If you're watching this later, please put in hashtag replay in the comments. I'd love to say thank you for watching later. And so today's subject is physical hunger versus emotional hunger. And it's really interesting because a lot of times people don't realize what is happening. So even myself, sometimes I will get a craving and go, is this emotional? Is this physical? I actually ask myself that question to find out where my body's at and where my mind's at and what type of hunger this is. And there's more to it, so let me explain the difference to you about those. If you do like what you're hearing today, hit like on the channel, follow me, or subscribe, and I would look forward to chatting with you in the future. So physical hunger versus emotional hunger, they are actually two different things, but sometimes it feels like it's the same. Physical hunger comes on very slowly. So you might realize that you're getting a little empty, and then there's a little growl maybe in your tummy. If all of your physical body is feeling fine, so you're not having a drop in blood sugar, hormonal issues going on, if everything is fairly normal for you, then a hunger signal, growling in the tummy, is one. That's when I know that everything is in balance for me, is when I hear that little bit of growl in my tummy. A lot of times it still is not something that's urgent. You could wait a little bit if you wanted to. You can recognize that you're hungry, but it might even be an hour later. There's many times it's close to eating, so I'm not going to eating a meal, so I'm not going to eat anything. I'm not going to snack because it's just, I know I can wait and it'll still feel okay. Physical hunger also does look like blood sugar drops. So all of a sudden you feel kind of weak. You feel maybe a little shaky, headaches. That's something you don't want to get to. So try to avoid that as much as possible. I know there's a lot of talk about intermittent fasting and nighttime fasting. That's all good. But really, if you are physically hungry, it is time to eat something soon. Again, not an urgency. So that growling in my tummy tells me that things are all working well and I'm getting hungry. I can delay that. There is no physical remorse or emotional remorse. There is no feeling of deprivation. It's a acknowledgement that I'm hungry and I can wait for a bit. So that's physical hunger. So what is emotional hunger? Emotional hunger is very sudden. And sometimes it starts with a thought, ooh, a chocolate chip cookie would taste really good right now. Or if you're driving somewhere, maybe you see a restaurant that's one of your favorites and think, fried chicken, that would be amazing. But it's really very all of a sudden in your face. It comes by all kinds of triggers. You can smell something. You can see something that looks good to you. You can be having a conversation with somebody about food. I was just doing that with a client, and we're both like, that sounds really good. It might actually even come with mouth watering. It's a physical sensation. You could hear it, which sounds crazy. Maybe hearing bacon fry trigger something for you. You could maybe touch something, it reminds you of something you've eaten in the past. A lot of times food is attached to experiences and memories of the past. Sometimes really great memories, birthday cake, ice cream after a hot summer day, and candy as a reward, your first date with your spouse, the meal that you had, the restaurant you ate at. Those are all emotional triggers that create emotional hunger. Or you are missing something in your life. That's also an emotional trigger. Or you're stressed about something, or you are having an emotional time in your life. There's a crisis, a trauma that you're trying to deal with. And the first thing you think about is, where's the closest vending machine? Or where can I get a candy bar? Sometimes it's habit, and I'll put that under the label of emotional hunger, especially if you're not physically hungry. A lot of times emotional hunger is not coming with any hunger signals at all, physical hunger signals. It's all a thought and a feeling that drives you to eat something or eat a lot of something. And that's all emotional hunger. A lot of people will say to me, well, I just get bored. That's an emotion. Some people will say to me, well, I just really like food, and that's why I overeat. That's emotional eating. If you were in your physical body at the time you were eating, and if you really, 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 really loved it, you would be able to stop eating when your body told you were satisfied or full. So emotional hunger is trying to either fill something or push something away. So you're trying to receive calm or peace or love, or you're trying to push something away like anger or frustration or overwhelm. And so the thought comes about, I need something to eat. And as I said, it's really kind of sneaky. And in that way, it makes it a little comical for me, because just the other day I was working and I was frustrated with something that was happening. I probably was working on the computer and I felt like it was taking longer than I thought it should. And my thought was, I need chocolate. Notice emotional trigger, a thought or a feeling. So the thought was, I need chocolate. I got up from my desk. I walked out of my office, down the hallway to where we keep sugar-free chocolate bars. And so therefore, I'm justifying in my mind why it's okay for me to have some of this chocolate. And in a split second, I realized, as I asked myself this question, am I really physically hungry? No. Is this emotional hunger? Yeah. What am I really feeling? Frustrated, overwhelmed, got so much to do, feels like I have so much little time. How am I going to get it all done? And this is taking longer than I expected. So I was feeling frustrated, I was feeling overwhelmed, and that's the cause of the emotional trigger to eat. That was the emotional hunger trigger. Once I recognized it was emotional, the first thing I always do is I giggle at myself, because it's like, oh my gosh, here I go again after all these years. And isn't it interesting and quaint that I keep doing some of these things, but I have this tool. Am I physically hungry, or is this emotional? And I could turn away. I have many other tools. Tapping is one of them. Emotional freedom techniques, EFT, you might have heard of talked about it that way. And I have a video download series that you can get by just going to crushcravings.com. You download that, it will show you how to crush cravings, particularly if it's an emotional hunger. If it's a physical hunger, and like I said, I delay sometimes. I might be an hour because I know I'm going to be having dinner soon or lunch soon, and I just don't want the extra carbs or calories. And I know it's not going to be harmful, that I might delay. However, if you are physically hungry, then it means you need to eat something soon. And honor your body for acknowledging that you are ready to eat something soon. So those are the differences between physical and emotional hunger. And as a recap, always ask yourself, is this physical or emotional? Physical signals are growling of the tummy, low blood sugar. Maybe you're having some trouble concentrating. That's also a signal that you need to eat. So lack of focus or concentration. Those are the top three. So are you experiencing that? Maybe you have a headache. There's a fourth one there. Are you experiencing that? Then maybe it is time to eat. If you don't have the growling in the tummy. If my sugar levels are out of balance, I don't always have the growling of my tummy. That's what I said. I know when I know things are in balance when I have that growling. First, it's always an empty feeling in your tummy. Then it starts growling and it gets louder and louder. I really would recommend that you don't let it go too long. It will become painful to be really, really hungry. And I've been in that place before, having been a professional dieter for so many years and only allowed so many calories on some of those programs. And I've been in that place where I got physically painful because I was hungry. So don't allow your body to go that far. Emotional hunger always comes on very, very quickly. It's usually a thought or feeling that drives it. It's always a thought or feeling that drives it. It is always something that feels like you need to take care of right now. So a sense of urgency about it. There's usually one particular kind of food or a type of food. So you're going to be craving sugars or carbs or breads or chips or something in that category. So sugars might be you're craving candy or cake. It has to be a specific type of food. That's an emotional hunger. And to satisfy that emotional hunger, you can do one of two things. One, just recognizing it by saying, is this emotional or physical? If it's emotional, then recognizing that you don't have to eat. You have a choice. The other thing is to tap. And Crush Cravings will show you how to do that. So there's a difference between physical and emotional hunger. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, write a comment, follow, subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with another topic on how to release weight without willpower. Have a great afternoon or evening or morning. Bye now.